National Guardsmen. There was only one community member that was sitting in the room that day, Mrs. Dilch. One community member. I walked in and didn't recognize a single face. And our election was being run by the Army. By the Army!
Poll workers.
We got a problem here, folks. I don't know. Mr. Moore, are you responsible for running the election as the clerk? And making sure that we have community board workers in place?
It's the clerk's responsibility to oversee the election as far as getting things set up. So as far as the ballots and the tables and that type of thing, that's what we're responsible for. The election workers have to deal with the Board of Elections, Atlantic County Board of Elections. We have, I don't assign people, I can't pick people as a clerk. They are appointed by the Board of Elections. You said National Guard. First of all, they weren't in uniform, and apparently they could not get enough people to be here. So they went to, from what I understand, the National Guard to say, hey, is anybody interested? They got paid just like anybody else. So we don't pay them. On the primary, that's how that works. General election, I believe it works a little bit different as far as paying the poll workers. We get reimbursed at that election. We get lunch for them, get breakfast for them, we make sure everything is okay. But as far as my responsibility as a clerk for that election, it falls under Atlantic County Board of Elections. There's a person that's appointed as a judge, someone appointed as a chairperson, and they take care of all that. They've been trained thoroughly. And I think, from what I could see, it was an outstanding job that they conducted themselves and how they ran that election. You don't see any complaints? Did you hear any complaints?
That was not the point I was making.
I just want to make sure that there's
That
no
was
complaints.
not the point I was
happened
making.
at those
The
elections.
point that I was making was if that is something that is run, should be run by the people of this community, am I
There
right?
was a shortage,
Does
I think,
anybody
with
disagree with
COVID,
it?
Mr. Boswell.
What are we doing
I
to make
disagree.
There
sure?
was a shortage, I think, of poll workers with COVID, number one.
Trained.
You have to be trained,
Yes.
and you can
Okay.
go to any locality and work. It doesn't have to just be people from Estell Manor, work Estell
Can
Manor.
I say something? So,
And Mrs. Dilge did a wonderful job.
yeah, I happen to.
I'm not saying that they were at all, but that's a problem,
She was
folks.
very nice.
That's a problem. I don't care what you,
I happen to be somewhat acquainted with Mrs. Dill. I can tell you that in the time since the election, she's, in recognition of what you saw, she's gotten at least 2 people who will serve will be trained and serve in the next, work the polls in the next election. Secondly, it was on the front page of the paper yesterday, the day before, that the compensation for poll workers is doubled from $200 to $400 a day, so it should be easier to find people the next time around. Lastly, I will say that it was not perfect on election day. She made one very large mistake. The only person who was affected by it was Mrs. Olson, and by Mrs. Olson's grace, she's never mentioned it.
She was wonderful, more than competent. And, you know, if certain people didn't get certain people banned from working the polls, maybe you have more people. That's all I'm gonna say.
You go to the Board of Elections.
Anyone else? I have no idea.
Anyone
I
else?
think-
Hickerson?
Hello, my name is Sandy Hickerson. I live at 210 Upland Avenue, Absecon. I know it's late, I'll try to be quick. I just wanted to mention that you can find our sample resolution online. We have a website, it's www.gs2ago, so you can look at it there, you can read it, and it's a sample resolution, but you can download it, print it, mail it in, whatever. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to track to know how many have been printed and turned into each municipality. I know in the beginning, when this first came out, everybody was excited about it, and I know thousands of them went out. So I don't know actually how many were sent to you back in the beginning, over a year ago, but I know personally I have dropped off numerous resolutions at numerous times. So there was more than just the 30 that was tonight, there was more than that. But outside of that, we do work with law enforcement. There was just an event in Salem County. We had, again, you know, safety training or classes. We advertised differently with those classes and training. We worked with the Sheriff's Department there, so we do work with law enforcement. Again, we're all about safety. We're all about education. Education is key when it comes to firearms. Being a firearms owner is a huge, huge, huge responsibility. We want everyone safe, first and foremost. So, but I also wanted to mention to you, Councilwoman Owen, you had brought up, I'll read from the City of Estell Manor City Council meeting minutes, June 3rd of 2020. It was, the clerk explained that the resolution was not in final form at this time. Lafferty added that the county had made substantial changes before adopting the resolution. He will provide a revised resolution for the July meeting. And there was a motion made by Mayor Venenzia and Councilman Dilge to table the resolution for the Second Amendment rights, and a voice vote taken with all in favor. So yes, there were changes made, because again, this resolution that we sent you is a sample. So the county made changes to the resolution, and each municipality, they've all made changes. You fit it to your municipality, to your residents. So, and yes, the resolution, with all the other municipalities that I've been to, they post it on their agenda, so you can fully read it. So yes, so absolutely, it's important for the residents to know what it says and to get that information out there. So I just wanted to bring those few tidbits of information forward to you. Again, looking forward to answering questions and working with you to get this on the next agenda and voted for. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? I make a motion to close the public. All in favor? Aye. I will admit that I did in fact make a mistake. It was thought that the position of the city clerk could in fact be a part-time position. In retrospect, as I look back, I'm not afraid to admit that I've made a mistake, contrary to what's been said. But I do agree, I think we should have a full-time city clerk. I think we all made a mistake. There are 3 classic mistakes in my entire career that I have sat here on this council. I think another one could have actually been, I wouldn't mention, but there's another 2 mistakes that I have made. And to my very day, I regret that I did make them. But this is certainly one of them. I think we should have a full-time city clerk. You know, there's a lot more to it than what we said. It is a very full-time position. These are, as one of our employees brought it to my attention, this is a career position. This isn't something where somebody's looking to jump out of Walmart, jump out of McDonald's and come over here to a part-time position to do. These are career positions that the city clerk is about. And with that being said, Mr. Moore, I need to get the list of the applicants, because I am only aware of one.
I have them on my desk, so I was gonna give them
I
to you
have
this
to
evening.
have them all tonight.
You want them now?
I would like to have them now.
I'll go get them.
Make a motion to go to close?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
What is the specific personnel topic?
Personnel, and there will
We're
be.
talking about you.
Well, then I want my rights notice and I'll stay with you. So do we know what so what's the personnel issue?